I'm so happy to be here today. I love that you guys have shown up. We've got quite a good online presence. I've got like 2 slides, and I want to talk about PhDs. Some of the people listening online and that I hear may not know exactly what this includes or entails. And I want this to be super interactive. One of my PhD students are here, some other PhD students in the department. So jump in and tell me what I've missed here, okay? So what is a PhD? I'm going to specifically talk about engineering PhDs. You can apply these concepts to other PhD programs, but let's talk about engineering because that's what we're doing here. What is a PhD? A PhD is, it's a complicated thing, but let's just talk about it in terms of a project. You've got a fixed time, typically 3.5 years, and you're given a project. You can help design your project, you know, with the sort of vast faculty that we've got, or they may have a specific project in mind that you can speak to them about. And what do you have to do? You have to do something new. You have to invent something new. You have to discover something new. You have to design something new. It has to be new. So, you know, you start this project, but one of the very, very most important things is that you have to do something that no one's done before. And how do you do this? Typically, you'll join a research team, and you might sort of take a small piece of the pie of tackling a big problem. You might join a research team that's trying to cure diabetes, and you might have a small piece of that, or trying to cure cancer, and you might have a small piece of that. You become very, very, very specialized in that one thing that you do, and you become the very best person in the world. You will learn critical thinking. This is so important. There are no answers here. This is your project. You have to make it work. So, you are given a task and there's no answer in a book. You can go read scientific literature. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. It's up to you to figure out, I like this. Maybe I'll go with this direction. Oh, I think this wasn't right. Critical thinking is extremely important. You're going to learn new experimental and theoretical skills depending on the project. And you may develop your own experimental and theoretical skills. You're going to come up with hypotheses, and you're going to use those experiments to test them. And based on the answer, you're going to come up with new experiments or new hypotheses. You're going to challenge existing paradigms. This is what we do in my research all the time. Someone said something for 50 years, is taken for granted. We turn up and say, actually, no, this is wrong. And this is very difficult because people are not open to change, but it's really exciting to be part of that cutting edge vanguard. You get to work super collaboratively. In a department like ours, it's expected that you will go out, work with other labs, learn new techniques, speak different languages. When I was a PhD student in this department, I got to travel and spend time living in Germany and living in Denmark. I mean, it was incredible. And I know that other people in this department do that quite commonly. Then finally, you get to present your work to the scientific community. You do this by writing papers, publishing stuff. This is a great feeling. This is amazing. That thing that someone knew nothing about, you came up with a hypothesis, you tested it, you found something new, you publish it, it's out there and people are reading it. Random people will contact me from all over the world and want to talk about my research. This is great. I did that. And you go to conferences and you can present, and really, this is again a lovely feeling. You can give talks, or you can present your research in poster form, and have people from all over the world come and see what you're doing and give you insights. What have I missed, PhD students? Please. Yes. We will get to that. Absolutely. Yeah, and depending on the environment, your project advisor might be like, here it is, go, come back when you have something to say. So I think that's part of the real, I'm going to have my next slide about motivation and self-motivation. Anything else anyone wants to add about what is a PhD? Yeah. Yeah. That's incredibly important. It's incredibly important to just keep working at a problem, even though it's failing, and figuring out what to change and how to change to make it work. Absolutely. Okay, so why do a PhD? I'm going to expand on some of these here. This is a real powerful intellectual journey. It's the most important intellectual journey that I took in my life. Up to your PhD, you know, if you've done an undergraduate training, you've mostly sort of learned stuff and applied it to examinations. Here it's real different. Here it's go apply what you've learned. This is so beautiful. I loved it. When the first time I did this, I really understood why I was learning the things that I was learning. You get to apply your knowledge and your creativity. And yes, you get to fail and fail and fail and fail some more. Because, you know, if there was an answer, someone would have done it. This is up to you to make it work. So you have to have self-motivation and come in day after day after day after day and work on this thing. That's very, very difficult. You get to, you know, in a short amount of time, you get to see the realization of an idea. So you come up with an idea or a hypothesis and you make it work. There's so much power in that. So over 2 or 3 years, you get to take your thing and finally turn it into a product or an idea or a hypothesis or whatever it is. You've got a sort of a path to a realization. You get to work with the best and brightest people. I can't iterate how important this is. We come here, we take it for granted. We're surrounded by the most brilliant people in the world, and not just intellectually, but socially. People think about social change in academia. We talk about it and we can do things like this. Every single day, I feel honored to come and talk and interact with just brilliant, brilliant people who challenge me. You get endless opportunities. I've traveled the world. I've been to over 30 countries presenting my research. I've lived in some of them. I just get random invites in my mailbox. Please come and present your work, you know, Sao Paulo, Brazil. And not that that's just amazing, but, you know, the people that invite you are generally like-minded. They're scientists, so they'll bring you, they'll have you present your research, but often you'll take a day or two and they'll take you around their town and they'll, you know, you eat their food and drink their drinks. And it's just such a lovely perk of this job. You create lifelong friends and networks. The PhD students that are going to be in your cohort, you'll always be friends with them for the rest of your life because you've been through this journey together. You've experienced very, very hard work, very, very stressful work. But again, it's a journey that you experience together. You will be friends with them forever and you will trust them forever. When you get your PhD, the potential employee will know that you work really, 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 really hard. Right? You work super hard and you don't give up. You fail and fail and fail until you make it work. They'll know that you're creative, that you think outside the box, that you bring different ideas together. They know that you can work under pressure. They know that you can work with others and that you can realize big and small ideas. And so having a PhD, you know, I'm in academia, I love it. I'll talk about it all day and night, but it can open a lot of doors. Academia, obviously, there's industry, there's startups, there's a lot of government work, policy work, there's law, there's think tanks, Google hire PhD students. You know, there's almost an endless variety of things that you can do with a PhD because you've been through this journey and you are a critical thinker who doesn't give up. The final thing I want to say is that it's really the start of a lifestyle. A PhD is not a, you know, it's not just a degree that you do to get a qualification, it's a lifestyle. You choose a project that means something to you and you have to, because it's hard and it's stressful. And if you don't love it, and if it doesn't mean something to you, you're not going to convince yourself to come and do it every day. I study psychiatric illness. That's my research. I study it because I have a history of it in my family. And it means so much to me to be able to push that research forward. Because even with my research, even with a little bit that I do, I can change the world. And I really feel that. And it gives me so much meaning in my life. Plus, you get to change the world with the people that you interact, the people that you mentor. You take people and they go on that journey with you, either as your peers or as a mentee or a mentor, and you get to see people flourish and change. And it's absolutely beautiful. What have I missed here? Well, thank you so much.